Hey guys, this is Dr. Cummings. I want to share with you the details of our syllabus for microbiology of infectious diseases. This syllabus is focused specifically on the lecture portion of the class. There's a separate syllabus and a separate video to go with it for the lab portion. I'm lumping together sections 1 and 2. The main difference is the timing, right? Section 1, you guys are on the hook for Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. Section 2, you guys are Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 12:15 p.m. Until we're in the red tier. So as long as we're still in purple, it's going to be on Zoom, and it's for everybody all 3 days. Once San Diego County drops down to the red tier and we're allowed to meet in person, then we're going to be meeting in, well, this says Taylor Hall, room 106. Got to change that. It's in the Fermanian School of Business, room 102. They changed us just a couple days ago. Fermanian School of Business, room 102. So make a note of that, and I'll update the syllabus to reflect that as well. And then you guys know you're going to be split in half, A and B. And so whichever group you're in, A or B, Group A students will meet live on Mondays. Group B students will meet live on Wednesdays, live meaning in person. And then both A and B will be together synchronously on Zoom at the same time on Fridays. So that's the way it's going to work. Now, if you're an A person and you're meeting on Monday, when Wednesday rolls around, you don't have to try to somehow log in and watch it on video or anything like that. You're just continuing to do your own work on your own time, right? So you're not, if you're an A person, once we go to the red tier, you're not bound by that 11 a.m. time to be doing any particular work. You'll see as we go along what work you need to do, and you'll see that you need to be disciplined in staying on top of that work, since we're only going to be together physically 1 day a week once we get to that point. Contact info for me, office hours, etc., all available there. Required book is Microbiology with Diseases by Taxonomy by Bowman, I think is how you say it, Bowman. And I strongly recommend the digital version, the electronic version. It's a lot cheaper and has a lot of cool stuff like animations and things that are really helpful. And then you do have to have this app, the Sanford Guide to Antimicrobial Therapy. I gave you a link for both of these. And for the Sanford Guide, I gave you a code to get you a discount for our class that I was able to work for us. It's not an expensive app to begin with, but the discount knocks it down to like, I'm going to say $18 or something pretty handy like that. But we will use that Sanford Guide app, so make sure that you've got that sometime within the first week or two. Teach, Shape, Send is our mission. Here's your course description. You're going to want to read through that. Prereqs for the class. Course learning outcomes, very important. So by the end of the semester, what am I hoping you're going to really take away? You're going to be able to describe the physical nature and the life cycles of both bacteria and viruses, the major forms of what we call germs or infectious agents. A more technical term would be pathogens, right? Living things that cause pathology or disease. Distinguishing bacteria from viruses, extremely important, and the diseases that they cause. Recognizing and distinguishing diseases caused by what are called enteric bacteria. That'll mean something to you eventually. Gram-positive rods also will mean something to you, and gram-positive cocci. Some strange language here that's going to become very routine, very important for you to learn and understand. And then evaluating different antibiotics for application to the different groups of bacterial pathogens in particular. You'll learn some virology in this class, but not a lot. A traditional intro to micro class like this is really heavily weighted towards the bacteria and the bacterial infections. We'll touch on some eukaryotic infections, and we'll go a little deeper into viral infections, but the majority of our emphasis is going to be on those bacterial infections. Here's some links for the textbook and the app. If you click here, you can get to the e-text. You click here, you can get to the app, and then use this Point Loma 2021 EDU class. And I think that the capitals actually matter in this, so get that right. You might just copy and paste it to get your discount for the Sanford Guide app. And then we get into our class schedule. It's going to be real important for you to know where we're at all times. And this really mimics exactly what you see in the modules in Canvas. So week 1, you've got your dates, you've got which chapters we're in, and then the topics. Basic review of chemistry and an intro to eukaryotic cells and eukaryotic pathogens. And then your homework number 1 is going to be due on Friday, March 5th before class. That's the very first Friday right after we get started. So make sure you jump right into homework number 1. For each of these homeworks, you'll download the homework from Canvas. You'll type in your answers into Word, and then you'll upload it again at the appropriate upload location in Canvas. And they're always due at the beginning of class. So to avoid any sort of late penalties, you need to get those in before class on that Friday. And they're almost always on, maybe always on Fridays. And most Fridays we'll spend time going through the homework problems together to give you a chance to ask real specific questions. So you can see our topics: chemistry of microbiology, fundamental chemistry from like Chem 103, cell structures and function, and we'll start that with the eukaryotic cells, and then we'll look at the prokaryotes, the bacteria. And then we're going to focus on some gram-positive bacteria that cause disease, pathogenic, that's what that means. And then we'll slide into some microbial metabolism. In particular, we're going to be looking at aerobic and anaerobic cell respiration as well as fermentation. And we'll look at our first case study, urinary tract infection. Now that case study is also going to be done on a Friday. There's a portion of the case study that you do ahead of time. Those are definitions, and those need to be uploaded before class starts on Friday. And then the rest of the case study, for another 8 points, you'll do as a group on Zoom in class during class time. I'll explain more about that as we approach that first one. And then exam 1 will be on Friday, March 26th. That's also going to be on a Friday on Canvas using HonorLock during your actual hour that you're scheduled for this class. And actually, I have them set up so you've got 90 minutes just in case you need a little extra time. What I've found is that if you're prepared, students are usually done with my exams in the 30-40 minute mark. And very rarely does anybody need to go beyond that as long as you do the work to be prepared. And then we're just going to continue on down the line all the way until the end of the semester. A couple things to point out. The last week of actual classes, I'm going to use as a review week to get you guys ready for your final exam. And then we've got 2 dates for final exams, and I don't set the schedule, and I've been talking with admin, and there's pretty much nothing we can do about it. Those of you in section 1, your final is on Friday at the end of finals week at 10:30. Those of you in section 2, your final is on Monday at the very beginning of finals week, also at 10:30. Again, I didn't set the times and dates. I wish we could do it all on the same day. I wish we could do it middle of the week. I don't know. Nothing we can do about it. So just make your plans accordingly. Don't plan on heading home early if you've got a Friday exam. Of course, credit information, assessment, and grading, right? So 150 points come from lab, but 665 come out of lecture. And then the points from both get combined into a single grade. Keep that in mind. Even though we have separate Canvas courses, separate syllabi, you registered for these sections separately. Ultimately, we combine how you do in lab with how you do in lecture, and we give you 1 grade for both. 4 multiple choice exams, including the final, 125 points each. Final is the same length as all the other exams. Exams 2 and 3 are going to be partly cumulative, so about 20% of the value of exams 2 and 3 will come from questions on older material that you've already been tested on. When we get around to your final, though, that's 100% cumulative. You've got to retain what you learn as you go, so make sure you're studying in such a way that it changes the way you think, not just crams information in that you can then spit out the next day kind of thing, but it'll cover the entire semester. Any legitimate conflicts with exam dates and times, talk to me as soon as possible. You're responsible whether we have time to talk about a topic in class or not. Keep that in mind. We're only going to be meeting, we'll have some Zoom meetings to begin with, and then when we start meeting live, we're only meeting in person 1 day a week. We can't can't cover all that content then. So this semester is going to be one where you're really going to have to develop a lot of your self-learning skills, right? Your self-teaching skills. You're going to have the video lectures from me, the reading from the textbook. You can always support what you read from other sources that you find online. You can always come see me during office hours, ask lots of questions, etc. But you will ultimately see things on exams that you don't remember sitting and talking to me about. in one way or another, whether it's live in class or on a video lecture. So make sure that anything that's assigned to you in the reading guide, you know and understand well enough to work through it at some level on an exam. There are going to be 10 homework assignments worth 10 points each. They're due on Fridays before class. You can see the due dates on that schedule. And then in many cases, we'll be going through those homeworks together on Zoom as a study time, good opportunity to ask questions, etc. We've got 3 case studies, a urinary tract infection, a respiratory tract infection, and a gastrointestinal tract infection. And then attendance participation. You got to show up. And so there's points for every single day that you show up. So make sure that you're showing up, whether we're online or in person. Make sure that you're there and you're engaged. It's really the only way to do well in a class like this anyway. So you can see how the points break down. You can see the grading scale. Now your final grade, remember, is going to be a combination of these 665 points from lecture and another 150 from lab. And depending on the percent where you end up, I'll round either up or down, depending on which side of 0.5 your grade is on, to the nearest whole number, and then I'll plug it into this formula, and all grades are final, right? Don't come to me and say, hey, Dr. Cummings, I really need such and such grade. Or, hey, if you would bump me another percent, I'd be in this next category. Or to keep my scholarship, this has to happen. That's on you, not me, okay? So make sure that you do the work you need to not be dancing along some really close line. If you need a 72, let's say that you need a full C in this class. I know the pre-nursing majors need a full C in this class. Don't get a 72.5 and be really, really close, or a 71.5 and be really, really close. Get an 85. Get an 89, get a 92 in the class, and you won't even be close to these cutoffs, okay? So let's not have that conversation at the end of the semester. Be thinking now about how you can do as well as possible in this course. Okay, some basic information, template stuff that you see in all syllabi, and that's the end of it. All right, lots for you to think about. Let me know what questions you have. Shoot me an email. Tell me who you are. Introduce yourself to me, and let me know what kind of questions you have. You've got the entire schedule for the whole semester. My suggestion is you take all the dates, all these dates for activities, homeworks. So let's see. We've got homework assignments. We've got case studies. We've got exams. Take all that content, all those due dates, all those deadlines, and put them in a calendar that you refer to frequently, whether it's your digital calendar, a big paper calendar, or whatever, ahead of time, because you can map out the entire semester with no surprises. There shouldn't be any surprises at all for you. So good luck with this. I look forward to seeing you guys, especially in person. But please, by all means, just reach out with any questions you have. Bye.